What generation was the best generation? Let's figure that out. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Rico, the acronym, and yes, I'm back again. Happy New Year, happy 2024. It's 2024 Rico's Rants. That's right, we leaving the old behind, and the new is ahead of us. I'm so happy that you're here with me, talking with me, listening to me talk. And today, I want to talk about this difference in generation shit. Because every time I pop up on social media, I see something about Generation A, Generation Z, Millennials, this and that. And everyone's always kind of like, every generation trashes the other one. So I'm trying to figure out what's so wrong with the generation now. Now, according to Wikipedia, baby boomers was born in like 46 to 64. Generation X was 65 to 80. Millennials, myself, that's 81 to 96. Zoomers, Generation Z, that's 97 to 2012. And Generation Alpha, I imagine, is like 2013 to now because it just says early 2010s, mid 2020s. So that is the definition of all these generations. I am a millennial. I don't know what that means. I see people make millennial jokes and like they don't really hit home for me, but like some of them kind of do. Like would it be like music or like shows that was on back then or something? Like yeah, but I don't really connect with that. But I also don't like connect with an earlier generation either or the later generation. Because to me anyway, every single one of these generations has the same shit. Now I can already hear people going, "Oh no, it was harder back in the day." Da, da, da. Every generation has its hardships. Every generation has its technological advances. Every generation has its bad seeds. Like, I don't understand what makes today's kids so much worse than Zoomers or Millennials or Baby Boomers or who it is or that. Da, da, da. Like, I don't get it. I really don't get the hullabaloo about everything. Like, the latest thing I've heard is that like Generation Alpha are apparently going to be iPad babies. All of them are going to be iPad babies and addicted to their technology and all this stuff. And like people are writing papers and articles about the behavioral patterns of today's toddlers and like how they interact with stuff. And even this past holiday, I've seen my niece. You know, she's apparently an iPad baby, like, and she knows how to use that iPad too. But she also knows how to communicate as well. So, I guess it's yet to be seen what's going to happen with those kids. I don't think there's anything wrong with it because I remember in my generation and probably the generation right before mine too, they thought that video games was going to ruin us. Everything was blamed on video games. Apparently video games cause Columbine and video games cause all this other stuff, all this delinquency within children. But again, it was the same stuff kids was doing in the 80s and 70s and 60s and 50s. And for the literal people out there, no, it wasn't the exact same stuff, but there's a version of it throughout time, guaranteed. Another thing I'm starting to see a lot of is the Generation Z, the Zoomers, who are all now, you know, around in their 20s or on their way to their 20s, and they're getting into the workforce. And apparently a lot of the Gen Z teachers are like fed up with Generation Alpha. They're just so disrespectful and they're so, they can't read and da-da-da. And maybe I'm wrong when I say this stuff, so call me, get at me in the comments if I'm fucked up for saying some of this shit. But y'all are the teachers, right? So when a child can't read, that's on both the parent and the teacher, is it not? Because kids don't teach themselves how to read. I didn't teach myself how to read. So why are we blaming the kids for the failure of the adults? That doesn't seem to be very fair, especially to people that are like toddlers or just coming out of being toddlers. Like, it seems like a real good scapegoat for adults not to take responsibility for their fuck-ups, which another thing that every generation has their excuse. Every generation has their excuse. Well, we did this because we had to. Well, we did this because it was okay back then. Well, we did this because da da da. Every generation has their excuse, and every one of the generations before them was like, these kids just don't appreciate stuff. These kids just don't want to work. These kids don't do this. They don't do that. It's always what kids don't do. Nobody takes into account technological advances. Nobody takes into account advances in mental health care. Let's just be real about that. There's a lot of kids that, let's say in the 90s, they would have just been bad kids, but in the 2010s, 2020s, they actually can define what is up with these kids. Some of these kids are autistic. Some of these kids have ADHD. There's a whole bunch of stuff. But to watch the generation right up under mine blame the children, and mind you, a lot of these people, and this is old man Rico talking for a second, a lot of these people that's complaining, these grown-ups, these Zoomers that are teaching, a lot of them just became grown-ups. I mean, I'm talking 25, 26. Like, your frontal lobe just got fully formed. Why are we not blaming the root of the problem? Why are we just mad at the problem? That's, to me, that's not fair to that generation, because now there's a bridge and a divide that didn't need to be there. It just didn't need to be there, but now it's there. And it's like we're continuing the same bullshit that we've continued forever and ever and ever. And that's a generation hating on a younger generation for, let's be real about it, being more free and being able to do a lot of the stuff that say they wanted to do when they were younger. Like, personally, as I think I'm a millennial, maybe elder millennial, I don't know. As a millennial, when it first became cool for young black kids to skateboard and like anime, like the whole like Odd Future like years, I was a slick hater. I ain't gonna front. And you know why I was hating? Because I was mad I couldn't do it when I was that young. That's what I was mad about. So after a while, one of the homies, lets me know, like, hey man, you kind of acting like a 50-year-old motherfucker right now. And I had to think about it. I was like, yeah, I really am. And I stopped hating. And now I can enjoy so much more stuff because I'm not hating on the younger generation for being able to do it. I can get involved more because I know it's gonna be some young, rough and tumble, ready for the world, you know what I'm saying, ready to whatever. I know they're gonna be there. A lot of the people my age done pussed out. If we being real about it, a lot of people my age, they done got the good job, they done did this, they done did that. They're not as ready for the fight anymore as a lot of us was when we was younger. Now, I'm not saying all of us. There's plenty of us that are. So those of y'all that are, don't get mad at me. I'm with you. But you and I both know that when we was younger, shit was different, and we got a little bit more, we was more ready for the shit. So to see that there's a generation that is able to do shit that I wasn't able to do, able to express themselves in ways that I didn't think was able, all in all, man, I just want to say, stop hating. You know what I'm saying? Stop hating on the older generations, the younger generations, this and that, and straight up and down. If you are anywhere near my age, if you're a millennial talking about I should have been born further back or back in my day or any of that bullshit, shut up. Shut up, dude. Like, you would not have done well in the 80s. You would not have done well in the 70s. You damn sure wouldn't have done well in the 60s. So shut that bullshit up. Like, back in your day was the other day. Shut up. Let the kids have fun. Let the kids bump their head. Let the kids do their thing, man. Stop hating on these generations. And if you see something severely wrong, like a lack of ability to read at grade level or lack of respect, things of that nature, it's on you as an adult, and this is me talking to all the adults out there, all the Zoomers, all the millennials, boomers, Gen X, whoever the fuck. It's on you to lead these kids into being the people that they need to be. It's not on the kids to just magically fucking do it. And when the kids are fucking up, especially at a young age, you blame the parent. You don't blame the child at 8 years old, 7 years old, 6 years old, 5 years old. And I'm real tired of seeing it. I'm real tired of seeing grown people act like these children are adults because, and now I'm really finna get into some shit, when you treat them like adults, guess what they start to act like? And guess what that makes them more privy to possibly happening? Do I need to spell it out for you? Huh? You can't complain about little girls moving fast and you've been treating them like they was adults since they was 3 years old. You can't blame little boys for wanting to act all grown when you've been treating them grown and they've been responsible for these grown ass decisions since they was 3. You can't get mad at it. I'm sure it's been said by a bunch of other people on YouTube. Shout out to FD Signifier and Lil Bill and Farm Man in the Foreign Land, because I definitely watch their videos on this stuff too. And man, we got to stop just super blaming the kids for the failures of the adults. Because how much longer is that going to go on? How much longer is that going to work before we reach a generation that is not going to take that blame? I don't know. It's on y'all, man. But anyway, that's my little rant today about the generations. Y'all hit me in the comments. Let me know what you think about the generational divide. If you think Gen A and Gen Z is just so much more bad and disrespectful than the millennials and Gen X was. If you Gen Z and you think that millennials are just old fogies and Gen A don't know how to read, just hit me in the comments. Y'all know what's cracking. Like, subscribe. You know what it is. It's Rico. Peace out, baby. Y'all have a good one.